Kalima versus the good girl narrative. Welcome back to the Dark Mother Mysteries, where we honor the wild, the sacred, and the forbidden truth of the divine feminine. I am your host, Shadow Moon, and today we call forth the power of Kalima, the fierce, unapologetic force of feminine destruction and rebirth, to dismantle the lie of the good girl. This video is for the woman who's tired of smiling through her pain, tired of dimming her power, and tired of being palatable when her soul was meant to be unleashed. Lesson 1. Who is Kali Ma? Kali Ma is the Hindu goddess of destruction, transformation, and liberation. She is the fierce, unapologetic, and untamed, embodying the raw, primal force of feminine power. She is depicted with dark skin, a necklace of severed heads, a sword dripping with blood, and a posture that radiates fearlessness. But she is not evil. Her destruction is not chaos for the sake of destruction. It is necessary. It is purifying. It is divine. Kalima cuts away illusions, shatters limitations, and devours anything that keeps women from their truth. She reminds us that death, whether symbolic or literal, is always followed by rebirth. How Kali's energy helps women liberate themselves. The good girl narrative, perfectionism, and people pleasing and patriarchal conditioning are illusions. Illusions meant to keep women obedient, fearful, and contained. Kali teaches us that the only way to free yourself is to destroy what no longer serves you. Embodying Kali means destroying fear, stepping into courage despite discomfort, letting go of outdated identities, allowing yourself to evolve rather than conform, facing your shadow, honoring your rage, grief, and untamed desires instead of suppressing them, reclaiming your voice, speaking boldly, existing unapologetically, breaking cycles, whether toxic relationships, internalized beliefs, or societal pressures. Kalima is not gentle. Her energy is raw, disruptive, and fiercely protective. But for women seeking liberation, she is a force of transformation unlike any other. Lesson 2. How women are conditioned to be compliant and pleasing. From the moment we are born, many of us are taught to be good. Be a good girl. Don't talk back. Smile more. Don't be too loud. Don't be too much. We are raised to prioritize being liked over being true, to earn love through sacrifice, to equate obedience with worth. But let's be clear, this is not innocence. This is indoctrination. The good girl conditioning runs deep, often shaping a woman's thoughts, behaviors, and even her self worth. If you've been taught to fit into this mold, you may unconsciously exhibit certain patterns. Here are some signs a woman may exhibit: chronic people pleasing. She struggles to say no, put other needs before her own, and fears disappointing anyone, even at her own expense. Over apologizing. You constantly apologize, even when you haven't done anything wrong. You say, I'm sorry all the time. Becomes a reflex. Saying sorry just becomes a reflex, even in neutral situations. You have fear of confrontation. You may avoid conflict, stay silent when mistreated, and rationalize poor behavior from others to keep the peace. You may struggle with boundaries, like saying no feels selfish, enforcing personal limits feels mean, and you often accommodate others at the cost of your own needs. You suffer with perfectionism and self-criticism. Ooh, this is something have been working on for a while. You hold yourself to impossibly high standards, fear failure, and feel like you have to prove your worth through achievement. You seek external validation. Your confidence is often dependent on how people perceive you. You struggle with self acceptance and basing decisions on external approval. You also may suppress anger and emotions. You may feel guilty for expressing frustrations, sadness, or disappointment, believing you should always be nice or pleasant. You may have feelings of guilt for for prioritizing yourself. Taking time for yourself feels wrong, selfish, or indulgent because you have been conditioned to prioritize others first. And just a quick caveat, this right here is something that I've been working on extensively for the last couple of years, especially beginning this year. Um, and then also playing small in relationships and career. You may downplay your success, fear being perceived as too much, or hesitate to take up space or speak your truth. This is emotional imprisonment wrapped in politeness and pretty packaging. All of these behaviors stem from deep societal conditioning that teaches women to be accommodating, agreeable, and non threatening. But unlearning these patterns is what's possible. With the bold energy of Kalima stepping into the wild, unapologetic authenticity and refining power on your own terms. Lesson three: the danger of suppressing feminine wildness for societal acceptance. They tell us that wildness is reckless, that passion is dangerous, that our rage is something to hide, that rage is unladylike, that power makes us too masculine. The Madonna versus whore complex. This impossible contradiction we are forced into, being desirable but not too much, being strong but not intimidating, being ambitious but not threatening. It's tiring. So we shrink, we silence our instincts, we clip our own wings to fit in. But let me tell you, Kalimba does not fit in. She roars, she dances in chaos, she devours expectations, and she spits out the bones of false narratives. But here's the truth: feminine wildness is not a flaw, it is a force of nature. Suppressing that wildness shuts down your sexuality, stifles your intuition, and drains your life force energy. The Madonna horror complex has taught women to either be pure and submissive or punished and shamed. There is no room for a whole complex, fiery woman. But the more we suppress our wildness, the more we suffer burnout, bitterness, self betrayal, silent rage. And most dangerously, we forget who we truly are. Lesson four: Kalima as the embodiment of radical authenticity. Kalima does not exist for approval. She does not negotiate her power. She does not apologize for being too much. She is not here to be nice, and neither should you. She is here to liberate you from the lies, the mask, and the programming. It is time to disrupt the system that tells you you have to behave, to be small, to play nice, because the world does not need another good girl. The world does not require another obedient woman. The world needs women who are wild, women who are outspoken, women who defy antiquated norms, women who refuse to bow to outdated expectations. Callie doesn't ask for permission. She devours falsehood. She is the energy of sacred chaos, the kind that destroys what no longer, the kind that destroys what no longer serves you. She teaches us that sometimes to be free, you must be feared, not for cruelty. But because your truth disrupts the system, because your fire cannot be controlled, to let go of fake smiles, to honor your anger, to reclaim the sacred power of no, not through malice, but because truth unsettles the established order, because your inner fire resists subjugation. Callie calls upon you to dismantle this facade, to relinquish insincere smiles, to honor your righteous anger. Lesson 5. Steps to dismantle the good girl narrative and embrace true power. The good girl must become a ghost. Y'all, she needs to die. She's the character that you were forced to play. Now it's time for her, like I said, to die, and in her ashes, awaken the divine wild woman. So, what now? How do you break free? We do the work to uproot this persona by doing the following: shadow work, setting boundaries, rejecting perfectionism, and stepping into radical self expression. Here's how to begin. Number one, shadow work. The definition of shadow work means, well, shadow work is the process of exploring and integrating the hidden, suppressed, or rejected aspects of ourselves, the parts we were conditioned to ignore or deny. Why it matters. The shadow self often holds suppressed emotions, fears, and limiting beliefs that keep women stuck in cycles of self doubt and people pleasing. By acknowledging and working through these shadows, we reclaim our full, authentic power. How to practice it? Journaling deep fears, past traumas, and conditioned beliefs, recognizing your triggers, what makes you react emotionally and why, using meditation or self inquiry to meet the parts of yourself you've been avoiding, honoring emotions like rage, grief, and desire rather than suppressing them. You ask yourself, who taught me that I had to be quiet to be loved? What do I fear will happen if I say how I really feel? Face your internalized beliefs. They are not you, they were given to you. Number two, sacred boundaries. Definition. Boundaries are the limits we set to protect our emotional, mental, and physical well being. And I should also add financial as well. They define how we allow others to treat us and how we are or aren't willing to tolerate. Why it matters. Without boundaries, women often find themselves exhausted, overextended, or taken advantage of. Setting boundaries is an act of self respect and self preservation. Types of boundaries. You have emotional boundaries. You're protecting yourself from being responsible for others' feelings. Physical boundaries. So, this is you're protecting your personal space, consent, and bodily autonomy. Time boundaries. Saying no to commitments that drain you. Mental boundaries. Protecting your energy from toxic conversations or manipulation. How to practice it? Saying no without guilt or excessive explanation. Y'all, no is a complete sentence. I will continue to say that in a lot of my videos. Enforcing limits with confidence. If someone disrespects you, stand firm. Don't allow any disrespect. Speak up for yourself. Prioritizing self-care over external obligations that drain your energy. Y'all, we as women, we have got to learn how to put ourselves first. And I don't care if you are single, if you have a job, if you have a family, if you have a husband, you have to carve out time for yourself first. I don't care if you have to wake up an hour earlier than your usual time. You have to get up and honor yourself first. Just like if you were in a plane and the plane was going down, they would tell you to put your mask on first before you try to help somebody else. Because why? You can't help somebody else out and be suffocating. No, you put yourself first. And I know that's a tall task, but you just have to continue to work at it. It's a practice. Um, and then recognize that healthy boundaries allow deeper, more fulfilling relationships. Now, people will get mad and upset, but hey, you don't have to care about that. That's their problem. Anyway, you don't owe anyone your energy, and you don't have to bleed yourself dry to be worthy. Number 3, release perfectionism. Definition: perfectionism is the unrealistic pursuit of flawlessness driven by the fear of failure or judgment. It often leads to procrastination, anxiety, and self doubt. And like for myself, with me even starting this YouTube channel, I felt or feared failure. I had all these thoughts. Well, what if nobody listens to my channel? What if nobody watches my videos? What if I don't get any followers? Like all of this stuff. Like I've been wanting to do a YouTube channel based on this type of information for a long time, but I was just scared to do it. And finally I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. And I also feared being judged because I'm not the greatest speaker. However, I'm going to speak even if my voice trembles. And so, why does releasing perfectionism matter? Men and women believe they must be perfect to be worthy, whether in appearance, career, relationships, or personal growth. Perfectionism keeps them stuck, afraid to take risk, or fully embrace their power. Some signs of perfectionism: avoiding starting something unless it can be done perfectly. I just talked about that. Harsh self criticism and fear of making mistakes. Y'all, I am so hard on myself with with the criticism, and I'm learning to work through that. That's part of my shadow work as well. Seeking validation through achievement and external approval. Feeling unworthy unless everything is just right. How to break free. Shift your focus from perfectionism to progress. Perfection is a cage. Growth happens in imperfection. Embrace mistakes as part of learning. Fear of failure keeps us stagnant. Practice self compassion. Speak to yourself as you would a dear friend. And also, let go of control. Allow space for creativity and spontaneity. Willpower is in the messy, raw becoming. Let your flaws be visible. Let your voice tremble. That is holy. Number 4, radical self expression. Definition: self expression is the ability to communicate and embody your authentic thoughts, emotions, desires, and beliefs without fear or restriction. Why it matters: many women suppress their voices, desires, and creativity due to conditioning. Fully expressing oneself, whether through art, speech, movement, or personal choices, is an act of liberation. Liberation, excuse me. Ways to practice radical self expression: speaking your truth without filtering to be acceptable, dressing, creating, and living in alignment with what feels authentic to you, exploring emotions freely without fear of judgment, and lastly, moving beyond societal expectations and stepping into your fullest self. So, dress for yourself, get all dolled up, or dress down if you choose to, with respect and honest. Speak what you feel, move how your body wants to move, make it all yours, and do what pleases you. A final word from the Dark Mother. Kalima does not want your obedience. She wants you free. She doesn't want you good. She wants you whole. So let the good girl die, and from her grave rise as the wildfire woman you were always meant to be. You are not here to please the world. You are here to reclaim it. Until next time, Sacred One, stay wild, stay sovereign, and stay unapologetically you. This is Shadow Moon, Oracle, Priestess, and Head Mistress of the Dark Mother Mystery School, signing off. Class is dismissed.